The Bride of Frankenstein.
That's right. To end our second Halloween marathon of reviews, it is director extraordinaire James Whale's epic continuation of Mary Shelley's classic novel with this certain Bride of Frankenstein. Released by Universal Pictures, of course, considered by many as the greatest sequel of a film ever made, released in 1935, celebrating its 90th anniversary this year. Isn't that wild? Picking up right where we left off on the first Frankenstein, also directed by Whale, which I did a review on last year around this time, also bringing back the beloved Boris Karloff as the monster. Not Frankenstein. How can people still confuse the two? He's the monster, not Frankenstein.
It's not that hard.
But the Baron is in again, played by Colin Clive, having survived the 6-story fall off the windmill? And the monster surviving the burn of the windmill? Whatever you say, Hollywood, but thank God they did. Otherwise, we wouldn't have this beautiful film. Baron Frankenstein is approached by the one and only Dr. Pretorius, played flamboyantly and brilliantly by ERNEST THESIGER, to create something miraculous beyond his circus of little people, which is so gnarly, is it not? But a creature so gigantic, so mesmerizing, and beautiful.
You mean, yes, a woman?
Absolutely. Having created man, playing God, he wants to make something even more precious.
She's alive! Alive!
All the while, the monster breaks away from his prison cell, goes on an uncontrolled rampage, but finds the true beauty of life, of making a friend, the blind hermit. And when the shit hits the fan, he finds Dr. Pretorius and looks forward to having a bride himself. Or, shall we say,
woman, friend. Yes.
Spoilers ahead, folks, but horror fans, you must certainly know, I love this film. Everyone does. Every horror fan, I believe, absolutely loves The Bride of Frankenstein, even more than the initial film. For its bounteous creativity on Mary Shelley's novel, it is so grand that it remains timeless. Anyone picking up this film, no matter what age you are, whether you're a fan of horror films or even not, you are so engaged and connected to it. From the unbelievably campy moments, courtesy of so many, but notably Una O'Connor as Millie. Oh my God. To the most beautiful, beautiful moments of so many, but notably Karloff as the monster. If you remember on the top 10 best performances on Karloff, you can understand why his performance as the monster is so damn high, because obviously if you read the full book, the monster has an arc of his own where he learns to speak and grow up in just a handful of scenes. Hollywood knew that Karloff was the monster, and if you cast anyone else as the monster, you were doomed.
I love dead. Hate living.
You're wise in your generation.
I mean, they tried the first time with Bela Lugosi, but Karloff, who was just a question mark in the first installment, was now a bona fide star. And the actress playing his bride was an apparent question mark now. Even though, spoiler, the great and brilliant Elsa Lanchester would pop in as Mary Shelley herself in the film's prologue, hinting at her fabulous appearance as the bride later. People remember her image as the bride with those lightning streaks in her hair, which was based on Nefertiti, a queen of ancient Egypt, with Elsa's swan-like head jolts. That was Elsa's own idea, and has become a brilliant costume combo for years, and still to this day for couples dressing up like the monster and his bride. Now, James Whale was not excited to direct this, since he felt he used up every ounce of energy making the first one. But with enough convincing, Whale hopped on and realized he had every opportunity to elevate the story further, taking the elements from the novel, but also glamming it up with some fabulous undertones. Pound for pound, The Bride of Frankenstein has been argued as one of the greatest horror films with LGBTQIA undertones ever. Which, sure, if you really dig into it, but with an openly gay director like Whale, gay actors like ERNEST THESIGER as Pretorius, bisexual actor Colin Clive as Frankenstein, Elsa Lanchester, who was married to a bisexual actor, Mr. Charles Lawton, who had worked with Whale on The Old Dark House with Karloff, Not to mention Gavin Gordon and Douglas Walton in the prologue as Lord Byron and Percy Shelley, respectively, with its multiple lover situation there with Mary. You're bound to have some flair and zest that keeps Bride of Frankenstein ever so beloved by every community.
He's a very queer-looking old gentleman, sir.
Well, figure, let's make this a hoot, which results in some moments being absolutely hysterical, yet so poignant in just a drop of a hat. How well-directed Karloff here as the monster is truly spectacular. For the relationship was a bit strained, coming from the first one, Karloff still suffering from back injuries. But to me, nothing beats the sequence. Nothing beats the moments where the monster stumbles upon the blind hermit's home. The hermit, played beautifully by O.P. Heggie, at the insistence of Karloff, who knew O.P. from before. The end of that scene where the hermit prays thanks to God for bringing him a friend. The answer to his prayers, the monster tearing up in gratefulness, is so earnestly heartwarming. To then, the hilarity and yet so adorable scene between the monster and the hermit teaching him to speak, and the story of bread, wine,
Good.
and
Oh. Good.
Karloff was so against speaking as the monster out of fear, even though Hollywood did everything they could to market the hell out of it with "The Monster Talks." Karloff made it work splendidly without making it too cheesy or forced.
Friends. Good.
It's ever so truthful, especially towards the end. Just the moments of silence when the monster discovers the bride, and you think this will be a gorgeous union for the monster and the bride, but comes to find out, no.
She hate me.
The monster finally coming to terms that they were created without the grace of God. No man can play God.
We belong dead.
Apparently, the original ending featured Frankenstein and his fiancée, Elizabeth, dying in the explosion. But Whale thought it would be too much to have everyone die, so Colin Clive's alive!
Alive!
And what else was alive was its monumental box office, grossing $2 million over its $397,000 budget, and one Academy Award nomination for Best Sound. Of course, receiving glowing critical reviews, and one important factor in Bride of Frankenstein's success, that every facet in this picture, writing, production design, the score by Franz Waxman, the performances, direction, etc., all showed up to work and exceeded expectations. What at first started out as a commercial hoot of a piece turned out to be one of the greatest films ever made, according to Empire magazine, as well as countless many. I second that, for it gives a deeper look at the monsters, allowing us, the audience, to really connect with them and favor them over the humans. For every human thinks only of themselves.
I thought I was alone.
It's a grand masterpiece of a classic horror film that I can honestly say, so far, I have yet to watch Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein, and even Maggie Gyllenhaal's upcoming cyberpunk take on The Bride with Christian Bale and Jessie Buckley. But even so, I can still say The Bride of Frankenstein is the best Frankenstein film ever made. And I give it an A.
We are friends, you and I. Friends.
Good.
It was entered into the National Film Registry in 1998 and remains in our hearts and souls for generations to come. Countless filmmakers have looked upon this film as such a huge inspiration, especially with thematic explorations of monsters growing into their own and becoming much more than what the world has perceived upon them. For Halloween, cozy up with this classic scarefest of a universal monster. But first, tell me, do you like The Bride of Frankenstein, my friends? What do you think of it? List in those comments below. If you like this, please click like, subscribe to the channel, as well as the Spotify channel. Stay tuned for more reviews to come leading up to the other holidays. Oh, God rest ye merry gentlemen. Thank you all so very much for watching. Happiest of Halloweens to you all, and cheers.
To a new world of gods and monsters.